After I turned and walked away, Nick finally noticed the stack of bills I'd left on the table. In that moment, he realized I was no longer the woman who put money above everything else. Overcome with regret, Nick rushed out after me.
I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared to answer questions about us. It was stupid and cruel. I didn't mean it. I don't want you to go. You stay the week.
Why?
I saw you talking to David Morris. I didn't like it.
We were just talking.
I didn't like it.
You hurt me.
Yes.
Don't do it again. For so long, we'd both been trapped in our own assumptions. I thought he was just looking for a good time, while he believed I was only in it for the money. But now, the truth finally hit us. He had genuinely fallen for me, and my feelings for him were real too. After a tender moment between us, I opened up to Nick about my painful past. I'd been deceived by my ex-boyfriend and ended up alone in this unfamiliar city, losing everything, my money and my dignity. I couldn't find a job anywhere, and I was too ashamed to go home and face my parents. When I hit rock bottom, I ran into my best friend who was working at a bar. During those darkest days, she kept pushing me to try her line of work. Eventually, I gave in. 3 years later, I'd gotten used to this life. Nick listened to my story, his eyes filled with sympathy and guilt. The next morning, wanting to make up for how he'd hurt me the day before, he canceled all his meetings. He personally picked out an elegant custom evening gown and expensive jewelry for me, then whisked me away on his private jet to San Francisco to see an opera. It was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. The lavish decor, the beautiful music, it all felt like a dream. The romantic opera that followed brought me to tears. The longing for true love portrayed on that stage burned in my heart like never before. Nick watched me quietly, sharing in this unspoken emotional connection. But as our agreed upon deadline drew closer, a complicated mix of emotions stirred in both our hearts. Not wanting any regrets, Nick cleared his schedule once again to spend time with me. We did what ordinary couples do, strolling leisurely through the streets, relaxing on the grass in the park. I even grabbed his phone and playfully turned it off, just so he could truly unwind for a moment. When night fell, we squeezed into a hole-in-the-wall bar, drinking and laughing amid the noise. That's how we spent our last beautiful day together. Back at the hotel, I stepped out of the bathroom after freshening up and found Nick fast asleep on the bed. I stood there, gazing at this perfect man, feeling something stir deep inside me. I couldn't help but wonder, when did these feelings start? Was it when I saw the fancy breakfast he'd made for me? When he held my hand and led me into that store? Or during those late night conversations when we bared our souls to each other? Whenever it began, my feelings had already taken root. That night, I broke my own rule for the first time. And when Nick understood what I was feeling, he answered me with an even deeper kiss. But happy moments never last, and parting ways was inevitable. Even though Nick wanted to be with me just as much, after careful consideration, he decided to go back home. He arranged everything for my future: a luxury apartment, a car, a driver, and a credit card with no spending limit. He promised he'd come back to see me often, but I turned it all down. What looked like generosity was really just a gilded cage. To me, a longer, but essentially identical transaction. Nick asked me what I really wanted.
I don't know. When I was a little girl, my mama used to lock me in the attic when I was bad, which was pretty often. And I would pretend I was a princess trapped in the tower by a wicked queen. And then suddenly, this knight on a white horse with these colors flying would come charging up and draw his sword. And I would wave, and he would climb up the tower and rescue me. But never in all the time that I had this dream did the knight say to me, "Come on, baby, I'll put you up in a great condo."
Before I could answer, a phone call interrupted us. It was urgent business from his company, and he had to leave immediately. Before he went, Nick said he needed time to figure out what we both truly needed. His words left me cold. I realized that Nick still couldn't accept my past, the history I thought he had already come to terms with. Meanwhile, my best friend showed up at the hotel lobby to pick up the money I'd left for her. But just like before, the manager stopped her at the front desk because of how she was dressed. I got her call and went downstairs to sort things out, then poured my heart out to her about everything that had happened. After hearing my story, she was convinced I'd fallen in love with Nick. My heart clenched at her words, and I immediately denied it. The gap between us was just too wide. I didn't even have the courage to admit it, but she encouraged me not to give up. Maybe, just maybe, a miracle could happen.
When does it happen, Kit? When does it really happen? Who does it really work out for? Did it work out for Skinny Marie or Rachel?
Those
No.
were very specific cases of crackheads.
I just want to know who it works out for. You give me one example of somebody that we know that it happened
Name
for.
someone?
Yeah,
you want
one
me to
person that it
name
worked
someone?
out
You want me
for.
to, like, give you a name or
Yeah,
something?
I'd like a name.
Oh, God, the pressure of a name. Cinderfucking-rella.
We both laughed at that idea. Fairy tales only exist in books, and we had to deal with real life. In that moment, all my doubts vanished. There was no future for us. That's just how life goes. When you joke about fairy tale miracles, happy endings seem like the norm. But when you look back at your own scarred journey, you realize those dreams are nothing but a way to numb the pain. God seems to love dangling a glimmer of hope in front of you, only to snatch it away just as you're about to reach it, forcing you to say goodbye to the past with brutal clarity. So let me say a proper goodbye.